talks about AI, we have software, tools, etc. infused with AI. But does it really help? I have done practically, but it creates some rubbish for me, at least for me personally. Okay, but still not as intelligent as I would expect. That's the current state I would say. Architect, especially in EA, is very specific. It is not generic. I can create a software which can be for general use, but enterprise architecture is very specific to an organization, their DNA, how their landscape is, and how are you going to put the strategy in place. So mission, vision, strategy, etc. from the enterprise level is very specific to an organization. So AI coming and disrupting, it's still too early to say that. AI is infused, as I said, in all the products, but how are you going to use, when are you going to use is very important from enterprise architecture as of today in the current state. AI comes with cost and a lot of overheads. We cannot say that I can just use who is going to use, what data it is using, right, and how it is actually looking at my data to create whatever the context that I'm trying to expect from it. It's still an open area. So that's what I see in the current state. Now the future state, how I see it, right? Future state is something interesting because as I see throughout the life cycle of this enterprise architecture, I've been quite old in the system. From 2005, EA has been playing a major role. The criticality and the sensitivity of EA has grown, but we have not balanced with the kind of skills that are required to balance it with the kind of expectation coming from the EA, from enterprise architects. This is where I say, yes, GenAI plays a role, where I will see you have strategy, mission, etc., which enterprise architecture work products are created from. But how does this meet that, right, is where I see GenAI can play a role. Because I'm going to be very specific when I'm creating an enterprise architecture from the business architecture and enterprise architecture. Does it really, right? It's more like an iteration that will create, right, within the system. That are you really achieving it? 6 months, 1 year or something, how the roadmap looks like. That's where I see that AI and ML can play a very good role. Now coming to the practice of enterprise architecture. In the practice of enterprise, we have this, you have the reference architecture, you have guideline principles, etc. EA governance plays a very key role. It's not like I create and I leave on the wall, right? It is how the governance plays a role. This is where I can see AI and ML playing a major role. Like how are we executing and how is the usage happening on a day-to-day? Can I infuse the AI and ML specifically built for an organization where I'm working into the system where it will have an eye and its context that is been accumulated on the day-to-day matter. This is where I feel that AI, that's a future state I see. But is it, can I pick it off the shelf? No, absolutely. So we have to train it. We have to, otherwise it will give you rubbish, to be frank, right? And then there is something where I also see in the, on the ground, the operations, your IT, IS, OT, whatever you call it, right? And yesterday I was, there was a lot of conversation happening on IT and OT disconnect. Why is it happening, right? Yes, I agree. I work for multiple clients and I see that IT, OT are disconnected. That's the root. Here is where I see from the enterprise architecture how it, this infusion of the future state, what we are looking at, will be coming as part of your IT and OT. And how they align with each other. Are they disconnected? It will raise a flag, it will create an alert. You want to act on the alert, that's fine, that becomes the first stage for me. Now creating a reactive of this one, what you call it, a system of intelligence. One is a system of insight that will give you the insight there is something wrong. But it will also trigger an event that will create some kind of an intelligence which will trigger a workflow to correct it. Right? It is what I call it as a self-healing inputs. It can create a self-healing inputs. So this is where I see AI and ML. So when I'm talking about the future state, you see from the vision down to the operation I'm covering and how it can be infused in each of these layers. Right? That's what I see. Now forward roadmap, yes, there is a roadmap, but how to start is we start looking at it, start analyzing it, and see that okay, these are the areas where I see AI coming in. It cannot be a big bang, definitely, but something which is like a high impact, low this one which I talked about here, right? It's a low complexity. Start doing it. High impact, high complexity. Let us start thinking. That's the next step. This is where how we start growing. But at the same, we should know the future state, right? We should know what you are trying to achieve. That should definitely be done first, and then we go along the milestones and roadmap. Otherwise, there is no end state. It's like I'm here. I want to go to maybe Bangalore, right? If I don't know I want to go to Bangalore, I'll go everywhere. So So we should know where we want to go.